Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another podcast. Today, we're going to dive into real strategies that make a difference in the classroom. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that might challenge the way you approach student learning: why you shouldn't be the one correcting everyone's answer. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Anderson, that's my job. I hear you. We've been trained to believe that correcting student mistakes is a core part of teaching. But what if I told you that constantly fixing their errors for them might actually be preventing real learning? Let's explore how we can shift this responsibility back where it belongs, to the students, so they engage, think, and take ownership of their learning. So picture this. You spend hours making up assignments, carefully explaining mistakes, and handling them back. And what do most students do? Some glance at the grade and shove the paper into their desk, or just recycle it. And a few may look at the corrections, but do they truly process them? When corrections come from us, students don't have to do the thinking, but real learning happens when students analyze and fix their own mistakes. So instead of doing the heavy lifting, let's empower students to take charge of their corrections. This doesn't mean leaving them to struggle alone. It means guiding them to actively engage with their mistakes. So, what does this look like in action? Let's take a look at a math example. Instead of marking wrong answers, have students rework their missed problems using a different strategy. Compare answers with a partner and discuss their reasoning. Identify their own mistakes before asking for help. In writing, instead of correcting every error, give students a revision guide with prompts like: find one sentence that could be clearer, how can you fix it? Underline any words you're unsure about, look them up. Swap papers with the classmates and read aloud, does it make sense? For science or social studies example, instead of giving correct answers after a quiz, have students work in groups to defend their responses using evidence, debate different answers and justify their thinking, or write a reflection: one thing I got wrong and how I figured it out. When students correct their own mistakes, three powerful things happen. They pay closer attention during lessons because they know they'll need to apply the learning. Second, they develop critical thinking skills instead of relying on the teacher as a safety net. Third, they take pride in their learning because they see their own progress. At first, some students will resist. Can't you just tell me the right answer? But over time, this shifts builds independence, confidence, and a culture of perseverance. In my class, I teach first grade. What I do is that I circle where the mistakes are, and their job is to go back and fix the mistakes specifically when it comes to not exactly spelling because they're just learning how to spell, but when it comes to learning how to write a sentence with proper punctuation. As a teacher, your job isn't to do the work for them. Your job is to set the stage for learning. Here's how: model the process, show students how to analyze their mistakes step by step, ask the right questions. Instead of giving the answer, prompt deeper thinking. What do you notice about your mistake? What strategy could you try instead? Who has a different approach to solving this? Make self correction an expectation, not an option. So before we wrap up, I just want to remind you, this shift is not going to happen overnight. Some students will push back, but you are planting the seeds of responsibility, resilience, and learning. Every small step you take to empower your students adds up. Keep going, keep believing in their ability to rise to the challenge, because when we stop doing all the work for them, we don't just lighten our load, we create lifelong learners who take ownership of their own success. You've got this, teachers. Keep inspiring, keep empowering, and I'll see you next time on our next podcast. So if you found today's episode helpful, share it with a fellow educator. And as always, thank you for the incredible work that you do, and thank you for watching this podcast. Keep smiling and keep the flame of learning alive. Take great care of yourself.